Uh, my win for the day might be that I finally got my summer vacations. Like it has started from like 1 June. It will start from 1 June. I'm still going to school, waking up at 5:30 a.m. I'm so tired.
Yeah. And how was your exam? It was last Monday, right?
Yeah, it was really good actually. I studied and it went very well.
What subject was it?
Oh, it was maths.
Acha,
So
yeah.
okay.
Devarsh, what's your win?
Okay, so today one of my wins is like in our society the kids do not really play, but today I gathered today like everybody was the weather's nice and let's play because it rained last night and it was completely cool. So we gathered and
Ah, that's good.
the second one is an anime character, Gojo.
Great. And you do from Posca markers, right?
No, like unfortunately, my black pause got finished. I'm really, sad for that because black is the only color I use in each and every drawings. But like others are going well, but still sad for the black.
RIP.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's great. You actually draw good. Now, the ones who are not on camera. Mira, what's your win?
So my win for today is that in the badminton again, yeah, it's badminton. But I was we did a new game where we had like teams and we were playing a match. So our team won twice. So I guess that's like a teamwork. But yeah, that's one of my wins.
Oh, great. And Ritika, what's your win?
Yeah, actually, I got to spend some leisure time with my cousins. That was a win for my today, and also that was the reason why I wasn't able to come to yesterday's class. So uh, they were holding me, and I couldn't come to classes.
Okay, so that's great. That's a good win. Cousins enjoying with them, relatable.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Vaishnavi, can't see your face. I just see a black box with your name on it. Vaishnavi, Abha, Ifra sir, and Shanaya. Switch on your cameras. Okay, hi Shanaya.
Hello. There was a problem. That's why I couldn't answer you later. I mean earlier.
Okay, and Vaishnavi, wait, can you not hear me or what? Acha, okay, that's okay. Now, today is the sixth day of our journey to financial literacy. Yeah, Shreyas?
And I forgot to mention one more of my wins. I actually created four reels for Instagram and I edited one and posted it.
Yeah,
So
this
that's what I'm doing.
I wanted to do for so long, but procrastination. So, yeah, today is our sixth day of to our journey to financial literacy, and it is going to be all about what? What do you think it's going to be about?
Taxes.
Nahi, we discussed it yesterday. It's over now. Any guesses?
Let me check the WhatsApp group.
Loans, give us like hints. Interest.
Good that
Give us hints.
interest.
Okay, hints. If we talk about hints, look, the hint is going to be uh, straight to the answer. Those two words, the second word is money. What's the first word?
Saving money.
Na?
Losing money.
Earning money.
Are we going to lose money? No.
Compounding
Living,
money. No, no.
multiplying.
Nah. Something outside the box. Alakvi, you're not going to speak. Okay, you check the WhatsApp group. Others, no guesses.
I'm gonna check the group.
Create.
Hmm. Okay. Now you don't need to check the WhatsApp group. It's okay.
Creating money.
Oh, cash flow.
Creating money.
Okay.
So
Since you've got that, let's just hop onto the topic. Now, Rich Dad said that the rich were really making money. Now, how many of you were there on the day one or watched the recording of the day one? Raise your hands. I am not gonna come into your mind. Yeah, okay. So, can you relate to creating money or making money when I talk about the day one, connected from the day one? So, the day one, we actually discussed when Robert and Mike were using melted lead to make nickels. And obviously, it's going to be illegal, right? If I'm going to give you a piece of paper, I'll write on it 100 rupees. I'm going to do my signature and will show it to you. Will it be real money? No. Will it be worth 100 rupees? No. Why? Because it doesn't have the signature of that person whose signature is supposed to be there. I don't know the name and I don't know the designation. But if I sign that paper, it's not
Yes.
100 rupees. Okay. Now, if Robert and Mike, they made money from they made coins from melted lead, is it going to be worth 5 cents or $5 or whatever? No, that is making illegal money. But Rich Dad told them that they were casting nickels from melted lead and they were close to thinking the way the rich think. Matlab, they were making money, literally making money, and that is what the rich thought. Now, Robert and Mike and Rich, their thinking is the same. They make money, not earn money, invest, multiply. That's a different thing. But they make real money. While Robert and Mike and the rich, the way was different. Okay, they were wrong, but not fully wrong. They had the right thinking, they had the right mindset, but they didn't know the right way. Now you should know that why Robert and while Robert and Mike were the money they were making was counterfeit and illegal, but creating money was legal for the bank and for the government. गवर्नमेंट पैसे बना सकती है, बैंक पैसे बना सकती है, आप पैसे बना सकते हो नहीं, राइट? वी वांट टू बट वी कांट. But there are some legal ways to make money. Okay, now literally making money with a piece of paper, printing on the 500 rupee note and showing it, it's illegal. But there are some technical ways to create money. And do you want to create money from nothing? No money to money. अब रिच डैड इसके लिए बोलते हैं कि जानने के लिए बने रहिए हमारे साथ. The secrets will be revealed in the next chapters of the book. Okay, later in the book. Now we hop on. We finished the first chapter. Congratulations to all of you. And 6 days may just one chapter. Okay, we have to do 5 more. But now, okay, we celebrate. So, the chapter 2, it starts with a story. And this story is about 100 years ago. Nah, don't connect it to history, okay? I'll share my screen.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon Bonaparte. Wait.
Maybe Kamvyanjali's favorite person.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the story of just read it once. Okay, I want any one of you to read it.
May I?
Okay, yeah, sure. Yes.
The full page.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. From whenever I hear one of these questions,
Yeah.
whenever I hear one of these questions, I'm reminded of the following story. The richest businessman. In 1923, a group of our greatest leaders and richest businessmen held a meeting at Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. Among them were Charles Schwab, head of the largest independent steel company, uh, Samuel Insull, president of the world's largest utility, Howard Hobson, head of the largest gas company, Ivar Kruger, president of International Match Company, one of the world's largest companies at that time, Leon Frazier, president of the Bank of International Settlements, Richard Whitney, president of the New York Stock Exchange, Arthur Cotton, and Jesse Livermore, two of the biggest stock speculators, and Albert Fall, a member of President Harding's cabinet. 25 years later, nine of these titans ended their lives as follows. Schwab died penniless after living for 5 years on borrowed money. Insull died broke in a foreign land, and Kruger and Cotton also died broke. Hobson went insane. Whitney and Albert Fall were released from prison, and Fraser and Livermore committed suicide.
Yeah. So, out of all these people, how many do you know now? I'll take the names. Charles Schwab. Just count the yeses and count the nos. Charles Schwab, Samuel Insull, Howard Hobson, Ivar Kruger, I don't know the names, Leon Frazier, Richard Whitney, Arthur Cotton, and Jess Livermore, and Albert Fall. That's it. How many of you know? You might know Charles Schwab. नाम तो सुना होगा नहीं सुना But if you were living 100 years ago, I bet that you would have known all of these people, literally all of them, seven, eight, how many they are. Okay. Now, these people, they were, in such big positions. They were CEOs of company, they were presidents of company, and they were so rich, not with their mindset, but they were rich with money. They had material wealth, they had money, they had good cars, good houses, they had many houses, they had bungalows, and whatnot. Just look at their designations. Largest independent steel company. He was the head. The world's largest utility, the largest gas company, the International Match Corporation. Now, all these companies are so big, but it was just 100 years ago. And then, with all that money, with all that wealth, these people, they died their lives penniless, they suicided, okay, they committed suicide, they died broke, they were found escaping their country out of debt. What can wealth bring you if you don't know how to manage wealth, right? You केबीसी सुना है कौन बनेगा करोड़पति सुना है सबने Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
कौन बनेगा have you ever thought of being the youngest person in कौन बनेगा करोड़पति? कभी imagine किया खुद को?
No.
Yes? No? You might have. मतलब ऐसा लगता है ना कि अरे इसको उसका आंसर नहीं पता. I know the answer to that question. I can earn a crore rupees, right? The first person to earn a crore in कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, he was Harshvardhan Navathe. This guy, being 25, 27 years old, he earned a whole crore, 1 crore rupees from KBC. It was a few years ago, okay, not recent. And he was so happy, okay. He was all over the world, all over the news in India. He was known as the, because he was the first ever person to earn 1 crore in that game show, right? But then just 2 years later, when he was 29, he lost all that money and he was living a simple life. When before going into KBC, उनके पास एक अच्छी जॉब थी, अच्छी सैलरी थी. He worked for the government. Okay, he had good income. He had a good family. He was happy living in his life, right? Then he earned 1 crore from KBC. पैसा आ गया है. He would now just tell me, you were living your life happily. You got 1 crore. उनको सब कुछ हर जगह पे spend कर दोगे, right? You'll buy your biggest dreams, a good house, you'll buy good clothes, you'll live, a lavish life for the next 2 years. But पैसे तो खत्म होने ही है if you don't invest them, if you don't multiply them, if you don't try to grow them, right? 2 years later, his life was normal, literally normal. And 1 crore could be converted into more crores, and then if he had, but only if he had the right financial literacy, but he didn't. Money cannot bring you, money cannot bring you everything unless you know how to control the money. And this is it for this part of the chapter, the second chapter. Now, yeah. So this story is when the first sentence is that whenever someone asks me these questions, I get reminded of this story. What are the questions that people ask him? Because Robert Kiyosaki is pretty famous, he goes to colleges and all those places to give speeches on financial literacy and also about mindset. So people, when they meet him, they ask him, "How do I make more money? I want to earn more. I want to earn more money. I need a better salary. I need to earn more. Okay, where do I invest? What's your secret recipe? What's your secret to being a millionaire? How did you become a millionaire or a billionaire?" And just all these questions. Now, isn't it, you know, if I just said it before, ki more money is not going to bring you everything unless you know how to manage it. And these people are running behind more money and more money and more money because they think money will solve the problem. But they don't know the trash, the all the things that are going to come with money, which is taxes, which is interest, and they have to pay it off. Got it? Clear? Now, what other thing he says is, if you want to earn more, like you can't earn more, you can't just go on to your boss and tell him that I work hard and I want more money. Instead, this first rule and the only rule to more money is you should know the difference between asset and a liability. Now, what is the core difference of an asset and a liability? Now, we all know कि हमने पहले से डिस्कस कर रखा है about asset and liability, but पहले चैप्टर में, दूसरे चैप्टर में, तीसरे चैप्टर में, every chapter has these two things as the top priority, which is assets and liabilities. Let's discuss once more that what you know about assets and liabilities. निश्चिंत, पहले ही कैमरा ऑफ कर दिया. Okay, मीरा.
So the difference between an asset and a liability is that you basically invest on the same thing, like a car. it's a liability because you invest on it, but as like you keep using it in the future, the money's not gonna like say the same sorry, stay the same rate or get higher, but it's gonna go lower. But with an asset, like if I purchase a metal like gold, it's gonna get higher in the future. So that's the main difference.
Yeah, you explained it pretty well. Devash,
Okay, so and the difference between an asset and a liability in simple words is that an asset is a thing you buy from which you will earn money, from which you will get profit without working, and a liability is a thing you buy from which money is getting away from you. Money is not like you have to pay money. Like if you buy a home, it's a liability. You have to pay the land and property tax and all those things. But if you buy like, and there are different perspectives of looking at assets and liabilities.
yeah. Now the last person who wants to share, Nishchint.
Asset is something which generates or creates income or value, whereas liability is something that creates debt.
That creates debt. What is debt? Debt is loan. So liabilities don't create loans exactly, but they make you spend money on that liability every month. Clear? Now I want you all to listen to this video, which is by Robert Kiyosaki himself, and just tell me if you can hear it.
Anymore, but let's continue on with another lesson here. And so we were talking about your assets and liabilities, right?
Yeah.
And when you read Rich Dad Poor Dad and I said your house is not an asset, what did you think?
Well, I think that's a conception that many people believe, but as you demonstrated at the last seminar that we went to in Argentina, my mom had her properties and she converted them into assets.
Correct.
I think it just depends on what you do with it, and it would be great if you could show us how to turn your house into an asset.
It's really fundamental. So if I could go back, I probably covered it earlier, but it's a crucial question.
All organizations.
And this is what financial education and financial literacy really is. Again, it starts with a financial statement. And I would say probably 95% of all college graduates don't know what a financial statement is. You took an accounting course, right?
Yeah, I did.
I know you did parts of this. But I say to young people like you, there's 6 basic words to financial literacy and financial education. And the 6 words again are income, expense, asset, liability. See, I don't really...
Yeah, before continuing with the video, I want to ask you a question. Do you know what a cash flow statement is?
No.
Okay, I'll give you a clue, a hint. Cash flow, a cash flow statement. Any guesses? Just, okay, there's no right or wrong. Yes, Devash.
Okay, by my guess, a cash flow statement means a statement where you write down your expenses, like you write down what your expenses are, where your cash is flowing out of your pocket.
So is it just your expenses?
It can also be cash flow to your pocket as an income. And you can like, it's a statement like what are your incomes and what are your expenses.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone else?
Like it is a financial report where your income, what you get and what you spend, your inflows and outflows of money are recorded.
Okay. Shreyas?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that cash flow statement is similar to what they were said, but it's where you write down in a paper or something that how much you're spending and where you're spending and how much money you spent or from where you're getting money and how much money you've earned.
Yeah. You just raised your hand. So do you want to speak anything?
Oh wait, I didn't hear you calling me. Okay. I also thought that the cash flow statement can also mean that if you write a cash flow statement, you can figure out your profits, you can figure out your losses, and then we can taking help from that, we can change some of our costs, change some of our expenses or our investments.
Yeah, so it's basically an overview of your earning and spending. Ritika?
Yeah. Since that I'm in accountancy way, from an accounting perspective, I do have this view that where your money goes is cash flow statement. Wherever your cash flows, that is in investing and operating activities. In business, they do see this to have the view of their cash and bank balances.
Okay. So basically, from the words cash and flow, what you get is when your cash flows. Now, this is the journey of your cash flowing from the start to the end. Your cash comes in from your job or any of your income, and it ends when it goes out. Now, that's what Robert Kiyosaki is going to explain in this video.
Really care about my FICO score. A FICO score just basically registers, are you trustworthy with borrowing money? But a bank will never say, I borrow in the hundreds of millions of dollars. A FICO score not going to get me there, okay? And so it's kind of a ruse. I mean, it's important, but not for me. So these are the four words, income, expense, asset, liability, and the last two words are the words cash flow. And that's why the game is called cash flow. And the secret to being rich is not a college education, but can you control cash flow? And this is what cash flowing looks like. So this here, you need this, income, expense, asset, liability. Again, this is, you get a job. And this was my poor dad, go to school, get a job, get your PhD. And so this here is cash flow. So the income comes in and it goes out this way. First line of expense is tax. So this is a poor person's cash flow pattern. It's not how much money you make. Most people, I don't care if you have a PhD or no school at all, but they can't control the cash flowing out through their expenses. And so that's why people like Susie Orman say, cut up your credit cards, live below your means, because you're a spendaholic. So that's a poor person. This is a middle class person's cash flow pattern. And this is where the house comes in. First thing, most kids do when they get pay raise or that, they buy themselves a bigger house. Oh, my house is an asset. Now, who tells you that? Your real estate agent, of course.
Yeah.
Right? Because they want to give you this false sense of security while you're getting screwed.
Exactly.
But when you look at what happens with a house, a personal residence, something I live in, the money comes in and goes out, and this is middle class, but it also goes out through a mortgage payments. Oh, but I don't have a mortgage. You still have taxes. You still, Hawaii just raised the property taxes on me, which is probably what I'm going to sell. I'm going to get out of Hawaii. But you have taxes and you have upkeep. So money's always flowing out. So that's why your house is not an asset, is because it's taking money from your pocket. So very simply said, assets put money in my pocket, liabilities take money from my pocket. And then This here is, so I'm not saying don't buy a house, but here is a house that I've got. And I started when I was 25, bought my first house, and it was an apartment, it was an investment property. I didn't live in it, I rented it out, and it put money in my pocket. So very simple, the definition of asset and liability is not the house or this, it's cash flow. Where is the cash flowing? So as a young person, and to all millennials or if you're old, financial intelligence is the ability to control cash flow. And that's what they don't teach you at school. They tell you to go to school, get a job. First thing is tax. You know, you'll pay, most of your money will go out through taxes in your lifetime. And then they tell you to buy a house and a car. A car is an asset. No, a car is a liability. You got insurance, gas, upkeep, and all this. Now, if you buy a taxi car, it could be an asset. It's cash flow. And that's very simply it. So this is a poor person. Money goes out. There's a lot. We just interviewed some National Football League players who make millions of dollars in their 20s. And most of them are broke in 2 years because they can't control cash flow. Intelligence, IQ, is can you control cash flow? Not your college degree. College degrees are important, but they're not going to teach you this. So the cash flow game trains you over and over and over and over again to get your money in here to get cash flow this way. So I started with this. It cost me $18,000. I paid for the credit card and I put $25 in my pocket. Okay? It's an infinite return because the cash flow paid for the mortgage, it paid the expenses, pays the operating costs, and I still made $25. Kim's first deal was the same. Hers wasn't $18,000, it was $50,000, $45,000. And they put $25 in her pocket. But Kim now owns 6,500 rental properties, and she pays no tax because the income comes from here. If you have a job, you pay tax, but income, the rich get richer because when you have asset income, taxes are less. You can get it down to zero if you want. But that's financial intelligence, but can you control cash flow? Okay? So say it again, assets what?
Assets put money into your pocket, liabilities take money out of your pocket.
And so as a young person, you just focus on that. So when you're buying a new house, you gotta say, is this gonna take money or put money? You buy an apartment house, is it gonna take money or put money? That's it. That's it. It's cash flow. Six most important words for financial intelligence and IQ is income, expense, asset, liability, but it's really cash flow. Now, if I could bring up
Yeah. So, what are the 6 most important words for financial literacy?
Income, expense, asset, liability, cash, and flow.
Exactly. Are you going to remember these words? Yeah. Prove, karo. Just each one of you unmute yourselves and tell me those 6 words. Unmute.
Income, expense, asset, liability, cash, and flow.
Gitika, speak up.
Assets, liability, expenses, income, cash, and flow.
Alakveer.
Cash and flow. I'm a little confused.
Look, it is where it all starts. It starts at income.
Income.
When you get money, you pay your expenses. You pay for the food you eat. And then you buy assets or you buy liabilities. And this is what? This is the cash flow. So these 6 words is going to be our topic for the next 1 or 2 days. Okay. Now, today it's Thursday. We have to end a bit early. So let's cover it up in 5 minutes. Firstly, now define these 6 words. Who's going to define these 6 words? Look, when you speak more, you understand more. Devarsh.
Okay, starting with and like the money you get is called income, and the money you spend on something is called your expense. Then comes assets and liability. Assets put money into your pocket, liabilities take money out of your pocket, and these four words are basically cash flow. uh, Cash flow is basically the flow of money out of your pocket and the flow of money into your pocket, and how to control that is basically what we have to learn.
Yes, exactly. Uh,
You are muted again.
Sorry. Yeah. So I don't want any of you to just draw on this board, okay? Because I'm a little kid. I won't be able to control you, okay? I told you not to. Yeah. So can I write something? Okay. Now, basically, it's a simple box. Yeah. Now, this is a simple box. This is another simple box. This is let's call it our, now this is what we're making our cash flow statement, right? Now we're gonna write all these 6 words on this thing, and the same is in the book. Now first tell me how many of you have the book.
Me.
Shreyas has the book. Others?
Yeah.
So now I want you all to give me examples of what can get you income, what are your expenses, what can be your assets, and what are liabilities. Who's going to go first for income? Gitika, what do you think can get you income?
Can you repeat that again, please?
Give me an example of income.
Income example. Maybe renting a car, like, yes, or something.
If you're talking about renting a car, you earn the money from your car, and that is an asset, right?
Yeah, it's
Your job, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. Your job can get you money, and so this is the basically the first one priority जिसके लिए लोग सुबह उठ के जाते हैं and they work for money. Now, the second thing that can get you an income. Acha, okay. Now, income has income includes all the money that you earn. Now, all the money that you earn includes assets. The money that you get from assets is also included in your income. What can be your expenses?
Tax, groceries, food, clothes.
Gas bills,
Mm.
all the basic necessities.
Basic necessities.
Yeah.
Your basic necessities, the food that you eat.
Mm.
More examples. You don't know what you spend on every month?
Mm,
Taxes, property taxes.
Look, taxes gets when you go to a store to buy milk. क्या आप उन्हें पहले first will you buy the milk and then pay taxes? या फिर it's included?
Included.
Right? You're not gonna count and grocery tax. You're not gonna count it like clothes and clothes ke taxes. Okay, so taxes are included. Just take an example of this book. पीछे यहाँ पे where it's written it's MRP, साथ में लिखा होगा inclusive of taxes, right? So इसके ऊपर से tax नहीं करना है. All those, if this book is 100 rupees, the tax of 10 rupees is already included. So you won't get a different thing, right? What else? No more? Okay, let's move on to assets.
Clothes.
Clothes. Now, okay, clothes. But do you buy clothes every month? New clothes every month?
Not
Nah.
really.
No.
Clothes. Okay. What other things? Expenses, daily necessities. Do you only need food and do you only need clothes? Are you not living in?
Petrol
Like
for the
electricity.
vehicles.
Okay, so you need petrol.
Can we include the electricity tax and the
Tax, that's bill.
Water bill.
Can it be rent, like if we are in a rented house?
water bill, electricity tax,
Rent,
Gas bill.
gas bill?
gas. There's water.
Yeah.
Now these are our expenses. Just look at this. Income is coming from the job. Baki grocery, clothes, petrol, electricity, rent, gas, water, expenses. Can your job maintain these? It
No.
might. Abhi we're living in this home. Okay, all of us. Abhi ho raha hai na. So people think that's enough. I don't need assets. I don't need liabilities. Now let's move on to assets. Just 2 more minutes and we'll end. Okay. Assets. Come on. Use your
House rent,
Any investments like gold?
house rents, car rents.
Okay. We will include gold, but are you earning from gold every day or every month?
No.
Will earn from when you spend it. But yeah, you have this assets, and this is a long-term asset. Okay.
Uh,
So if you're gonna spend it, if you're gonna sell it after a long term, ठीक है? मतलब अभी आज gold खरीदा कल बेच दिया, you're not gonna do this. You are going to keep the gold for at least 10 years, 20 years, and then sell it, right? Okay, but we'll include this. Then more assets. It can be your a
like
home. You're putting it on rent, right?
Yes.
Home rent and car rent also.
So that's your rental income. Now, rental income from home, right? And you can get a rental income from a car, for a taxi car. Okay, and there are other assets, but since we all are little kids, we're going to talk about these. Now, liabilities. 1 more minute to go. Liabilities. Come on.
Car.
Fixing expenses for your vehicle.
Now, yeah, exactly. Your car. Now your is
Buying a house to live, I guess.
Yeah, house.
now wait. The car has its petrol.
Yeah. Petrol.
Okay, and
Fuel.
whatever. Get that.
Yeah.
It's okay, and it has your home. Okay, how can your home, now you're paying property tax on your home. Okay, so taxes from your home. Okay, and what else do you pay for every month? Say you okay. अच्छा एक चीज तो भूल ही गई, we forgot Netflix and our expenses, right? So we need entertainment.
OTT,
Memberships.
OTT,
Memberships.
What? OT what?
OTT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Entertainment includes Netflix, all your Netflix and chill stuff. Okay. Now your liabilities, it has, I'm not getting that word. Okay, yeah. Education loan, you have your education loan, you have your home loan, you have your car loan. Okay, so all the loans.
Mhm.
But you get it. Home loan is your from your car, it's your education loan. Okay. Now, uh that's okay. So we're up with time. We're going to continue this topic tomorrow. We are going to look at stuff what is the cash flow of a rich person, of a poor person, and of a middle class person. Now, that's when you look at your cash flowing from different perspectives. So that's it for today, teens. Let's get the right financial literacy and not just material wealth. That's me, Kavyanjali Raval, signing off. Until tomorrow. Bye bye.
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 Bye. Bye.